Hi guys, it's Robin. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to be reading through Daniel 8. But I want to start with verse 3. And this is from the King James Version. It says, I lifted up my eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram which had 2 horns. And the 2 horns were high, and one was higher than the other, and the higher came last. They are talking, the 2 horns, they're talking about 2 countries. And the countries back then were Media and Persia. Or Media? I think it's Media. Media and Persia. And the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other. Persia was higher than the other because it was greater. And the higher had come up last. I saw the ram pushing westward and northward and southward, so that no beast might stand before him, neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand. And he did according to his will, and became great. When they joined together, it became Medo Persia. And as I was considering, behold, a he-goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth. And he touched not the ground, and the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. And when they're talking about the goat, they're talking about the country of Greece. Greece was to the west. And he was rising fast, and that's why it says, touch not the ground. And he had a notable horn between his eyes. And when they're talking about the horn, they're talking about Alexander the Great. And he came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I seen standing before the river, and ran unto him in the fury of his power. And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler against him, and smote the ram. It was very well known that the Persians and the Greeks did not get along. They had many battles. But, let's go back. And smote the ram, and brake his 2 horns. And there was no power in the ram to stand before him. That means Alexander the Great conquered Persia, Medo-Persia. And he cast him down to the ground and stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, so he became very great. And when he was strong, the great horn was broken. And that's when Alexander the Great had passed away, or went to pass away, or went to go to sleep. And for it came up 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven, and the 4 notable ones were his generals. He did not give his generals any of the territories. His generals fought over the territories after he passed away. And one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceeding great toward the south, and toward the east, and toward the pleasant land. And it waxed great, so it became great, even to the host of heaven, and it cast down some of the host. The host that they're talking about are the angels. And of the stars to the ground. The stars were God's people. And he stamped upon them. The one that they're talking about here is, his name was Antiochus. Yea, he magnified himself, even to the prince of the host, and by him, the daily sacrifice was taken away. And that was in the temple. They took away, they made the priest quit doing the sacrifices. And the place of his sanctuary was cast down. And a host was given him against the daily sacrifice for a reason of transgression, and it cast down the truth to the ground, and it practiced, and it prospered. This king, I can't say it unless I'm looking at it, Antiochus was very cruel, especially to the Jews. I mean, he would kill them just because of their religion, just because of God. He would hang the babies from the trees. He was very, very cruel. How long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the transgression of dissolution, to give both the sanctuary and the host to be trodden underfoot? And he said unto me, unto 2,300 days, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed. And I want to go to verse 20. The ram which thou sawest having 2 horns are the kings of Media and Persia, and the rough goat is the king of Grecia. And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king, which was Alexander the Great. Now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. They weren't as great as he was. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. It's not by his own power, because his power came through Satan. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. There they're talking about the Jews, the Jewish, the holy people. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart. He was all about himself. He thought there was none better than him. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. That means the only one that's going to take him down, the only one that's going to destroy him, is Jesus. And the vision of the evening and the morning which was told is true. Wherefore shut thou up thy vision, for it shall be for many days. And I prophesy that Antiochus compares greatly to the Antichrist that we have now. You all have a blessed day.